Yo, it's me, CSCOTT, baby, here with another review for you, and this time it's Paranormal Activity 3. Uh, this one is another prequel taking place way before the first two. In 1988, we see Katie and Christy as little kids with their mom, whose name I forgot, and their stepdad named Dennis. Dennis has his friend Randy there, and weird things start to happen. This is where it sort of all begins, because they mentioned in the first two, like, stuff that happened with their mom and their grandma Lois passing away and stuff. And this kind of, no, she doesn't pass away in this, but there's a birthday at the beginning of the movie. I think it's like Christy's birthday, and the grandma Lois is there, and you can look at her and you're like, there's something not right with her. And so in this one, the demon is around, but it's attached itself to young Christy, and she calls it Toby. Toby with an I, even though the subtitles spell it with a Y. But yeah, she talks to Toby like it's her little friend, but we all know it's a demon. It's gonna come after her and Katie and all that. And well, see, you can tell from this one it latches on to Christy, and that's why it takes her baby, her son. Because they explained in the second one. I didn't explain it, so I'm sorry. They explained in the second one, but there's this cult called the Midwives, and Lois was part of it. The grandma Lois was part of it. And what it is like Christy's great-great-grandmother back in the 30s made a deal with the demon that they could have like a firstborn son or something. But they didn't have a boy, according to the family tree in his films, a boy in that on Christy's side of the family was not born until Hunter in 2006. So, and that's why the baby's after it. No, or the demon is after it. I'm sorry. That's why the demon is after it. And you get some good scares and stuff. Like there's one where the babysitter is there, and you just see this blanket that's up, or a sheet, and she turns around and it falls down. And I didn't realize this the last time watching it. It's actually in the front entryway of the house too, when they have that. Because Dennis puts a camera on a fan and puts it on oscillate. Like, takes the fan apart, puts the camera on top, and puts it on oscillate so it moves back and forth in the kitchen. This is back in 1988. Didn't have all the technologies like we have now. And so, like, it goes to the front of the house this way, and you see the little ghost, and then it moves. And then so the ghost is in the kitchen, and it falls just as the babysitter, looks over. And then another great one that I like is when the mom, whose name I can't remember, is in the kitchen, and because she doesn't believe any of this, and by this point of the film, all this stuff has happened, and Toby goes after Katie because he wants Christy to tell them go to Grandma Lois's house, and she wouldn't do it, and then finally she decides to, so then he'll leave Katie alone. So, but the parents won't listen. So what Toby does is he rings the doorbell, and when she goes to look, there's no one there, of course, and she comes back, and everything in the kitchen is gone, and then it just poof falls right down. I like that one. It scared the hell out of me the first time I watched it. Made me jump. And I'm ready for it now, but sometimes I do jump if I'm not paying attention. Happens, I guess. And yeah, Randy, I like Randy. And there's not the broom, but Randy, he's Dennis's best friend. He goes to the library. I think he steals the books from the library. The library cards are free, man. I think they're free to get library. At least in 1998, I think they were free to get them, at least. But like, replace them, you gotta pay. But I think to get them, they're free. I don't know. But yeah, and all these books on the occult and everything, as he and Dennis are, and then again, it's the typical. I see something on the camera. My spouse doesn't believe me, but I don't show them what's on the camera so they do believe me. You know what I mean? And eventually, I think he does show her. I think, I think he does show her some things, but it's like, sorry, I'm sweating in a mitten. But it's minor things. Like, okay. It's mentioned in the first one, Mika and Kate. Mika wants to do a sex tape thing. She says no. She don't want to have sex on camera. And then the second one, it looks like we're gonna have like a sex scene in the bathtub, but it cuts. And in this one, they're starting to, because they start smoking weed, or the mom does, and then she's susceptible because she's high, and so they start to do it. They don't get any closer than bra panty stuff because there's an earthquake, and this is how they first see the thing is the dust falls on Toby, and you kind of see, man, and you gotta think Toby a pervert, man, about to watch them get it on, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, dust fall on him, so they kind of point it out, and the mom doesn't believe it, of course, until later. But I gotta, they get to Lois's house at the end, right? And this is where the shit hits the proverbial fan. And so they get there, and they're in separate beds to begin with. And right away, like, Grandma Lois is preparing Katie for a wedding. Like, who you marrying? She's like, Toby. And the mom gets really mad. Like, no, that's not funny. And then, like, so Dennis wakes up in the middle of the night. His girlfriend, the mom is gone. So he grabs the camera and tries to find. By this point, Randy has left the movie. He's gone. He just took off. But Dennis starts going down, trying to find his wife, trying to find the girls. He goes out to the garage and he sees a bunch of women, part of the cult, standing there, and he runs back into the house. And he gets over back to the steps to go up, and the mom's there. She gets flung down the steps by Toby. And then he sees Christy, and he grabs her, and they run into a closet, and they hide. And like Toby shakes the door or something, and then they get out, and trying to get out, but the women are like all around the house. And he sees Katie, and goes for her, but she's like possessed by Toby, so she's like, and scares him. And then the grandma shows up, like Dennis is laying there, camera behind him so you can see it, and the grandma just kind of stands there, and then Dennis, like, all his bone in his body, like, break because of Toby, and then, like, she calls Christy over, and her and Katie go upstairs, and that's where it ends, and it's left open. It's like, and apparently there's, like, I think it's on the unrated version, if you, like, pause it at a certain point, like at the end or something, you can see their house burning in the fire, because it's like people are like, oh, they said their house burned down in a fire in the previous two, we didn't get to see the fire, they weren't even at their house at the end of the movie. So there's a little Easter egg thing in there. So that's Paranormal Activity 3. I think I'm gonna give it just like the second one, a 5 out of 10, because it's good, but it's not as good as the other one. I think the last 3 are the best of the series, so we'll get into those. So what are your thoughts on Paranormal Activity 3? Like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. And I'll see you next time.